No way you don't play Louis C.K. in a biopic.
Yeah, that's going to be me. I'm going to play Louis. But you know what? We talked about this before a little bit. I was mad. I had to get on Instagram this morning and talk about it because I was mad at all this shit about Louis. I think it's bullshit. I'm being serious now for a minute. I think it's so annoying. You can't record people in comedy fucking clubs.
Yeah.
And this is not about me. People got mad at me when I talked about it one time and they were like, oh, what are you supporting Louis? I'm like, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
I am a stand-up comic. It's going to be my whole life. I don't want people to have the ability to record me when I don't want it out there.
Yeah.
Dude, that's bullshit. I don't want that shit out in the world. It's not ready. If I put it online myself and you're like, fuck you and want to criticize it, fine. I put it out there. You can't do that when I'm working on shit.
Yeah.
And I've said this about 10 times. I think I said it over on Dipshit and Doofus's podcast. I said to them,
Shark Tank. What is their podcast called?
What
Fighter
is it called?
and the Kid.
Fire in the Child?
Yeah, I think so.
Why do they have a kid in the name? That's
I don't
fucking
know.
gross.
Very illegal. Not going to help them in court a couple years from now.
Yeah, you had a podcast called Fighter and the Child, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to prison.
Yeah, and the one guy's low on plasma. You get that email?
Yeah.
Brian asking for people for fucking
He's begging,
plasma?
begging. He goes, can I come talk to you for a minute about some opportunities I have for you?
Yeah.
It's like a pyramid scheme for plasma.
Yeah, dude.
No,
Rest in platelets, bro. I'm out.
I got mad at the recording shit, and I don't really give a fuck about Louis he can do whatever he wants. But I said this before: if the Westboro Baptist Church can protest a soldier's funeral, and if the Westboro Baptist Church can protest the funerals of cops or service people because they have the right to, then Louis C.K. has the right to go perform in a room for people who pay for it.
Yeah.
End of story. This is America, dude. People that go, he should never be allowed to perform again. What are you even talking about?
Yeah.
This is not that country, bro. This is if people want to pay tickets to go see his ass, they should be able to go see him.
They should be able to go see him.
End of story. That's it. That's just how it goes. And if you don't like him, you don't want to see it, don't hear it, don't support him. Support Theo. Support me. Go see comics you like.
And I'll say this about Louis, man. I met Louis once.
I met him. I've met him a few times. When he was coming around the store and he was selling out the main room, I was on his shows twice, 2 or 3 times. Adam was like,
Did you ever interact with him ever?
We just said hello and we chatted a minute. I mean, he probably would know me from a fucking hole in the wall.
Right. Same exactly.
But still, I don't have an opinion about him as a man. I don't know him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When someone goes, "What do you think about this person?" People love to go, "Oh, I feel this way." You're like, "Do you know him?" If you don't, I don't really know him.
Yeah.
I don't really feel anything.
No, I don't really know him. I got a vibe from he just seemed like kind of this was at the climax. He kind of had like a holier than thou type of vibe.
Is that that's what you felt to
yes.
to you?
But I also have no idea like the pressures, if people were constantly coming. I'm sure this was when he was, this was 2 years ago when he was
on the fucking tip top.
The only one up there really.
Yeah, he was solo. I mean, cuz Chappelle was slowly poking his head back around the store. You remember he would like come into town and do one night and then ghost and then never see him again?
Who, Chappelle?
Yeah. I feel like he would come in and then I would not see him again.
Right. He wasn't even in town.
No,
now he's everywhere.
Yeah, now he's hanging around.
But that's all I remember is that that's when he was doing a new hour every year and it was like a thing, people were excited about it.
He was on fire. This is how funny it is when people capitalize on bullshit. People have been putting up sets of Louis that aren't from that night that are like whatever sets because they want hits and views. So I said this on the bullshit on my Instagram. If you hate him so much, why are you supporting it then?
Yeah.
Because all you're doing is creating more for him. You're creating more shit for him to get revenue around his name.
Right. Well, he can also lay claims to all of those.
Of course he can.
And pull the revenue from all those channels in
100%.
And for himself. That's one thing you may not know about YouTube. Like, say if there's like even a segment of this podcast that somebody clips and uses in some like montage or something, we can lay a claim to share revenue from that other video that somebody else
you should
made.
be able to. That's your content. But
now what about this? But he got up. He joked about the Parkland He joked about Parkland shooting.
Did you get my text?
He said,
"Play that. That because this is only 2 minutes. It'll say it's the exact things that people are mad about. Because there was some other shit that made its way on the internet, but these two jokes they got mad about was the insensitivity of the Parkland shooting and pronouns, how people want to be addressed. He, her, them, that. This is probably the best audio.
So I'm a little disappointed in the younger generation, honestly, because I'm 51 years old. And when I was like 18 to my 20s, I mean, we were idiots. We were getting high, doing mushrooms and shit. And then older people were like, you gotta get your shit together. And we were like, yeah, f*** you. And I was kind of excited to be in my 50s and see people in their 20s and be like, they're crazy. These kids are nuts, but they're not. They're fucking, they're just boring. And telling them, you shouldn't say that. What are you, an old lady? What the are you doing? That's not appropriate. You're a child. I don't know, they testify in front of Congress, these kids? Like, what are you doing? You're young, you should be crazy. You should be unhinged. Not in a suit saying, I'm here to tell you. You're not interesting. Because you went to a high school where kids got shot? Why does that mean I have to listen to you? How does that make you interesting? You didn't get shot, you pushed some fat kid in the way, and then now I gotta listen to you talking?
But the point of all that shit is, all comics feel the same way. Whether or not you like Louis C.K. or not, nobody wants to be filmed. Like nobody wants to be filmed unless I want to be fucking filmed.
Right.
But that's the other thing. They're itching for people to get mad. People want to get triggered so fucking bad. The Tiffany Haddish thing to me is hilarious.
Yeah.
That people are like, they want to make news out of nothing.
Right.
You know how people bomb on New Year's? We've all done New Year's shows. You know how many times I've seen crowds get so crazy the comic can't perform because they're shit faced out of their fucking mind, yelling in the middle of your setups.
Oh, yeah.
So
I raised money one time. I was gonna piss into a speaker one time in Louisville on stage.
on New Year's.
Yeah, if I'd have got $100, man, I was gonna end my whole career. I could have been electrocuted. But thank God we only got about $70. And this is before GoFundMe. This is back when you just had to ask everybody in the room.
That was that was just room fund. Yeah, the room fund. Can anybody give me money? Yeah,
give
hands
me
up.
something. But I think like the Louis thing is interesting because it's like, it's not fair to film people. And Judd Apatow came out and slammed him. People were talking about
He hit him hard, yeah. But you know what? But you know what it is though. Our stance is different. Our stance says, I don't want anybody to film me. These people that are mad at Louis are still mad about what he did.
Right.
Like that's the point that people are missing. They think that what we're doing is defending who he is and his actions. I'm just defending the fact that you can't record a comic when they're working on shit.
Right.
You need to get over the fact that he's going to perform.
Nick, can we see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Judd came after him on Twitter.
Okay.
This hacky, unfunny, shallow routine is just a symptom of how people are afraid to feel empathy. It's much easier to laugh at our most vulnerable than to look at their pain directly and show them and love and concern.
Yeah, that he's all angry. So I guess he's saying, what Apatow is saying, that it's easier for, instead of like approaching the Park Lane thing with apathy and concern and empathy, it's that what Louis doing is, I guess, maybe going after like low-hanging fruit. I didn't see it that way at all. I saw it as he's just joking about something that's a really serious thing, which is what
every comic is doing,
and good comics do usually.
Of course, yeah. What are you going to say? I mean,
or a comic like him does. It's the same thing that Chris Rock does. I mean, I was there when Chris Rock told a joke, about the Boston bombing at the marathon.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And it's a great joke. Like, it doesn't mean that the Boston bombing is funny,
right? And
I don't think that that's what this is. I mean, Judd definitely.
I don't know why he's going after him though. That's the biggest thing. I don't know why comics go like. Why do you care?
But Judd also gets grandfathered in as a comedian. If you look at Sam Tripoli's, can you bring up that tweet?
I stand with Louis C.K. Judd, did you call out Lena Dunham when she admitted to molesting her sister or falsely accusing a man of sexual assault in college? No, of course not. If anyone knows hacky, it's you! ! You used a cheat code to get on stage to be one of us. We won't forget this. That was Sam Tripoli that said that.
Yeah. And I remember whenever Judd was touring with like Schumer, that she would always make fun of like how just not funny he was.
Judd?
Know? Yeah. Just like, and Judd's gonna be there,
Here's my thing about the whole Judd thing that I didn't understand. I saw that yesterday too. Why are comics trying to burn their own?
Right, that's what I don't understand. Like, why would Judd do that? Like, it's not. I think
it doesn't give him anything.
Right, but I think it's part of it. It shows a little bit that he's not as into the comic cloth as like.
Or maybe he just wants to keep a stance with his viewership of staying in line with who he's always been to them. That's more what it is to me. It's more like, bro, if you've spent your whole career, and this isn't about Judd, I'm saying if somebody spends their entire career with an image to uphold and that's who they are to their fans, they have to go that route and not deviate because they've committed to a thing.
But why even go in there? He didn't have to say anything.
No, I agree. But you look at how many comics don't say anything. That's the biggest thing to me. Is like look at how many huge comics, like the biggest selling comics in the world, right?
Right.
Chris Rock said nothing. Chappelle hasn't said anything yet. Brian Regan,
Right.
Sebastian, You're looking at the top selling comedians in the world, the highest grossing comics. They stay quiet
Yeah.
because they know better. Because they're
Yeah.
like, what is it going to earn me?
Right.
What's it going to earn me to talk shit
Right.
about, you know what I'm saying?
And maybe it's just maybe some of it's just like a novice kind of move by, of Judd. But that made me wonder. I don't know Judd, like
I know him a little bit.
he
I know
pops
him
around the store and seems like,
I know him a little bit, and him and I are on great terms. He's always been a cool dude to me.
Yeah, same here.
I
But I don't
like
know
Judd.
why he would
I just
say
don't know
that.
why he goes after someone
Right.
like that, because it's just you don't need to.
Yeah.
You just don't need that shit. Like, all that does is invite. First of all, it's pandering to people that are already upset, and then it's inviting enemies.
Right.
It's inviting fucking haters.
Yeah.
Like, I spend my entire fucking career trying to push away hater bullshit.
Yeah,
All I
haters
want to do
out.
is be with people that are fucking
Uplifters.
into our fun, into having a good time.
Yeah.
But that invites haters.
joy babies. Yeah.
All you're doing is inviting haters to go, come on in, say some foul ass shit about me.
Yeah.
You don't need that shit.
Do you think? I wonder if part of it is like for some. If there's some publicity thing or something, like if he's,
No,
you never know what the next foot is going to be. If there's,
I think Judd is aligned with a group of people who are publicly condemning Louis C.K.
right.
I think he's just a part of a group of people that are doing that.
And so do you think that it went, because, do you think it went so deep that Louis, just said, I just wonder if he was such an a-hole to people, or if he did other things behind the scenes that we don't know that made people that are bigger fixtures in the
I've heard
industry
stories.
angry.
I've heard stories.
Apatow.
Yeah, I've heard stories that Louis has made a lot of enemies. I've heard these stories.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know him like
Yeah.
that. So I'm not going to go out of my way to fucking start shit. I don't know that motherfucker. So people could be like, you weren't around, Santino.
That's a good point.
Theo, you guys weren't around. When you guys weren't around, he was a piece of shit to me. It's like, okay, then that's on you. But do you feel like at this point in your career, as successful as some of those people are,
Yeah.
you need to shit on him? Let me tell you something.
Right.
In our come up generation of comics in our group, that are growing fan bases, in 10 years, when you're on top of the world, if you find out someone in our group did some fucked up shit like that, would you waste your time after gaining all that success and fans? Would you waste your time shitting on a guy that you used to know?
No.
Even if he was a piece of shit.
Right. No, I don't think I would, unless that's what makes me think there must have been something else that
happened to them.
between them.
Sure.
That's what I think
But
it
let me
was.
tell you something. Even if, let's just say we find out in 10 years that Shab has been, selling kids online.
Yeah.
Because that could be. That could be a thing.
And then wearing a lot of their clothes into the studio.
So let's just say we find out some fucked up shit about
Okay,
Shab in
Shab
10
is
years.
doing stuff like that. I could see. I mean, I would hate to see that, but I could imagine it.
It's very possible.
I'll let my mind go there. Continue.
TMZ hits us up in the parking lot.
Oh.
Theo, what's up? Theo, did you hear about Shab, dude? Congratulations on your world tour of all your arenas and shit. By the way, you're fucking killing it, Theo. I know you're doing your thing. But did you hear about Shab? Do you know what happened to Brendan?
Yeah, I heard about it, and
Kids, dude, he was selling kids online. What do you have to say about that?
I wish him well.
That's it. I wish him well. That's great. I don't need to take time to shit on Shab.
Yeah.
And even if Shab was a piece of shit to me on the way up, I still won't.
Right.
I would just be happy. I would be like, oh, dude, well, that guy got what he deserves, and I'll just sit in my good place where I am, doing my thing. You think there hasn't been people that have been shitty to me on the way up?
Oh yeah.
And some of the people that have treated me like shit over the years, I see them kind of slipping and not doing well.
Yeah.
I just get to sit back and see that.
Yeah.
I don't have to fucking parade around the internet being like, who fucking is eating it right now? No, I'll just go, hey, man, well, I'm going to keep doing my thing.
Yeah.
I'll keep going up.
Yeah, it doesn't help, man. But now, do you think that Louis responds to this? Do you think?
Hell no. He can't win. He can't win.
Right.
In the same way when he wrote the apology letter, people said it wasn't good enough. He didn't say the right things. He didn't apologize the right way. And they might be right, by the way. And they might be right. Their opinion is
I thought it seemed like the apology letter, it was, I mean, he's an artful communicator. That's one thing that
people
he
feel
is.
like he didn't say I'm sorry. I think whatever it was, I don't really remember
Right,
specifics.
yeah, I don't
but
remember.
the point is, he can't win.
Right.
He can't fucking win. If he responds to this, can't win.
He can't win.
Cannot win. No matter what. If he says people shouldn't record my sets,
Do you
they'll
think
find some shit about that.
if he goes on tour in a year around America, does he sell out everywhere he goes?
Sell out.
100%.
He'll sell out so fucking much. It will only anger people that hate him more that they might go see his ass.
Right, but do you then think, so do you think that this is the industry that is hating him, or do you think that this is just...
Industry. Dude, you know America?
Yeah.
America. Donald Trump, America. What are we even talking about? This is the inside baseball industry, leftist, elitist, liberal, coastal people going, punish, and they
Right.
and they don't look inward. A lot of these people that are throwing stones at him have a lot of secrets.
Yeah, and it's probably a lot of those people knew like a lot of this. I don't know.
But if you go ask somebody where I come from in Chicago in the Midwest,
Yeah.
when I go talk to people back home about shit, when I go, hey man, what do you guys feel about Louis? A lot of people will go, yeah, I think that's fucked up what he did. That's fucked up. And I go, I agree, that is fucked up shit what he did to those girls, those people. And I said, do you think he should be banished from performing? They're like, no, that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That people want him to still perform. The country will still support him.
Yeah.
The business can slash you down, you know?
Do you think he tours again? I think he does.
100. I think that's what he's doing right now. I think that whole set was a setup. I think that whole set, he didn't
Wow.
plan it, but I think it was a setup for him to go, I think he consciously went, if this gets out, it's only going to set me up to get an audience. It'll be a line in the sand of either you're going to support him from here on out or you're not. And I guarantee you, if you go on the fucking internet, there's a lot of people going, "This is great. This is I want him to come back." What the fuck? I saw it on the thing. I saw it on the Twitter, on the original Twitter audio. I saw 1 million comments. My boy, he's back. I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah.
People like him.
Yeah.
But just the business is in its own head, you know. The business of Hollywood is like a little boy in a room with all of his toys. And if like he stubs a toe on a toy, he's like, "But his toy," and then he throws it outside of the room, and then he still gets to play with the little toys that he likes. He's a little brat. The business is a little brat. It's a little bratty fucking kid.
But I can't imagine that the business can't see that he could make so much money for them again.
They will, but the people that will operate with him will be on the low.
Right.
Yeah, people that'll operate with Louis, the bookers, the promoters, they have to be on the low if they're here, and if they're not here, then they can be loud.
Do you?
He could be, you know what he could do? For real, if he wanted to fucking walk straight into the fire, he should just align himself with a more rightist sensibility and be like, fuck it, I'll be the comic for Fox News.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. If he really wanted to do it, if he wanted to just say fuck it to LA and to New York,
Yeah.
he could just walk right out into the middle of the country and sell out forever.
Yeah.
Dude, there's guys selling out that we don't even talk about anymore that still sell out around the country that we don't even know where they are, what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just touring the country, selling the fuck out.
Yeah.
We just get to see this, you know?
Yeah, I'm just curious because I feel like the thing about a guy like Louis is once you get to that level of ego and have that much influence and that much power,
That's
really
big
that he
power.
had. Right. I mean, when you're coming in front of people and running past them and jerking off, I mean,
Did he
everybody.
come?
It's hard to do that, but that's a fucking power move.
That is power.
You know?
He's just jerking
like,
off
hey,
running.
look at these socks, and then they see you're naked, and they look at the socks first, then they see you're naked, and then you come.
Do you remember
know?
that game that boys would play where they'd be like, yo, what time is it? And they'd wrap their nuts on their watch and
Yeah.
shit like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty preeminent for Louis. You think he was doing that when he was young?
Oh, I got some gum, and
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, what is that gum?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
There was always one
nuts.
kid who looked at it for too long.
Yeah.
It was where you're like, oh, look at this piece of gum. And everyone's like, oh. And there's one that's like, oh.
Is it grape? I'm just, with that much ego, I don't feel like Louis gives up. Like there's going to be that thing where he just will continue to
I'll
try.
say this, he'll never stop.
Do you think he'll start the tour in Parkland? Like in that town in Parkland, Florida?
No, I think he'll start.
Would that be crazy? And sell it out. How about
sell
this?
out an arena in Parkland.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I think he will do for real?
What?
I think he'll do a world tour. I think he'll leave the States.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think there's people that overseas that want to see him more than you think.
Yeah.
That are like, come here and do it.
Oh yeah, in Saudi Arabia, dude, jerking off in front of a group of women. That's like the let's make a deal over there.
You get a tax break for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can write that on your tax.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, you know?
Yeah, for real.
It's so funny how we're like, we have to say, you know, like sometimes it's funny in America how it's like everybody is welcome here, you know, but we have to have, but then at the same time, those same people will be like slamming the way that we behave in this country.
Yeah.
But then also the people that they are totally just willy-nilly willing to let in behave the way that we behave, that they hate.
Yeah, exactly.
But just because they're from somewhere else, they can come in. You're a murderer from fucking, you know, Slackadokia? Come on in, bucko.
Slackadokias.
Yeah. We need guys like you.
We need more Slackadokians, by
Yeah,
the way.
dude.
That is something we should talk about.
We
need
just
more
have all these old
Slackadokians.
white murderers and black murderers.
I'm
and
tired of old white murderers,
Yeah.
man. It's getting really old.
this Louis thing, man. It's
Got in your
interesting.
head, huh?
Well, yeah, it's just interesting. I'm just like, and then I'm like, you know, it's And then a lot of people would, it's like people would be afraid to say anything about Apatow because people would be worried about their space in the industry, you know?
Well, yeah, but I said my 2 cents on Judd. I like Judd. I said we're cool. Judd and I are cool people.
Yeah, Judd's always, anytime I've ever seen him, he's been nice.
Him and I talked about doing a podcast, him coming on the podcast and stuff. So
yeah, he goes on a lot of people's podcasts.
I like Judd.
Yeah.
I said that before. I didn't slander Judd. I don't know why Judd or anybody wants to take shots at Louis. That's my point.
Right.
I'm not taking shots at Judd. I'm not on that.
Right.
I'm saying I don't know why people feel like they need to.
Well, do you feel like
don't feel like we need to.
There's something, I agree. It's
unless you've got, like you said, if Judd and Louis have some old beef, well, then maybe that makes more sense. But there's a few comics that I have heavy beef with that I do not like as people.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. If they go down in a blaze of fire, I ain't going to say shit. I might say it to you as my friend,
right,
off the record, but I'm not about to tweet about him.
Good evening, good afternoon, and other times. Thanks for watching that video you just saw. I mean, it was okay. But the next video you could watch could be way better. What if you watch a video right now that changes your life? Well, you could. Watch this one, or watch this one. Watch this one, watch this one, watch this one. Ah!